Hi everyone, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happened there, so hopefully you're still with us. Just give everybody a few minutes to rejoin. Sorry about that everybody, can you hear me now? Hopefully. Sorry about that, I honestly don't know what's happened there. Haven't moved, so don't know what's happened. I'll just give everybody a few more minutes to rejoin, but sorry about that. Yay, okay. Slight panic over. Right, okay. I'll just give everybody a few more minutes to join back and hey everyone. Right, thank you for your patience. Okay. I'll just recap those books very quickly again. So as I mentioned, they are in levels. So quickly we've got the Twits for level 1. We've got James and the Giant Peach, which is going into level 2. We've got the Enormous Crocodile, which is level 3. We've got the Giraffe, the Pelly and Me, also level 3. And then another one for level 3, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then we are moving into level 4 now, the Magic Finger. And then finally, SEO Trot. So I'll just start with the level 1 book and explain how this works. So as I mentioned, these are now different levels of reading. So I'm just going to show you at the back. Hopefully you can see that clearly. So all the levels are down here at the side. We've got pictures of all of the books clearly on our website, so you'll be able to see, but it tells you, just gives you a bit of a guide of how the levels work and how you can read them with your child. So let's just have a look at the inside. So as well as the wonderful illustrations, yes, I will definitely include all of the prices as well. So because we do them as box sets out, we are able to offer you a bit of a better price than buying them individually. So I'll definitely make sure we've got all of the prices posted with the video after this. So there's 7 books in this set. And I just want to, as well as the wonderful illustrations, which I know you all love and are all commenting on, I just wanted to show you the reading style as well. So the Twits have 4 monkeys in a cage. So you can see that it's still it's the starter phrases, it's working on phonics and common words, everyday words. It's not long sentences, it's words and vocabulary and imagery and things that children at this age are going to be able to relate to and parents can enjoy. So there's, as they start to increase. Just a quick question there on giveaways. We don't sort of announce the winner as such, but we do choose the winner and we write in the comments in response to all of them, and then we ask them to privately message us with their details and we fulfil the prizes that way. So just in case, if there's just a quick question there about that. So yeah, you can see that as well as accompanying all of the imagery, you've got the sort of introductory sort of text, just short sentences, so they can get used to it. Then towards the end of the story, so they are sort of shorter and adapted versions to make them easier for children to get started on. But once children have finished the story, and I would say that takes up about just over half of the book, you can see then for the rest of the book there are a series of activities. So that's what makes this almost perfect for back to school, sort of a bit of a non-fiction kind of task, as well as having the fiction element of it too. So there's several activities there, and they cover a range of things from speaking and writing, reading, listening, critical thinking, and it prepares children for what they'll be doing in class as well. So I'm just going to show you again some more of those pages. So hopefully you can see that clearly. So I think that's really nice. I mean, there's all sorts of fun things. They've even got a word search. I think that's really great. Really nice way to finish each book, and almost you could just reward your little one with a you could reward them with like a sticker or something afterwards. which I think would be really nice. And then there's more here as well. So I just wanted to show you, there's quite a few pages there of activities that come afterwards, and that just, and then it ends with a really nice song, so that's quite funny. So you can just see there's actually 18, 19 activities. So there is quite a bit to get through. Don't have to do it all at once. You can just do a page at a time, a couple of activities at a time. So that can keep them really nice and engaged. And just a nice way to finish off the story and make it's learning, but it's still going to be quite fun. So that's really nice. Just before I lose this comment, there's a question from Catherine. Can you recommend something for, I think sort of, was it, just double check, who is a competent reader? I would still recommend something like this and just keep moving up the levels, because it's all of that practice. And then if you can match it with something like this where you've got the activities at the end, then that's a great way to just sort of test their knowledge, still make it quite fun. But we've got another set of books as well for a slightly older age group, which I'll show you in a moment. So that was, just to recap, that was a level 1 book. I'm going to jump straight up to level 4, which is the highest level in this set. And that's just because I want to show you the difference of what that looks like, and then we'll get moving on to another set. So you're welcome, Catherine. So this is The Magic Finger. Slightly thicker book, and the reason for that is because you'll see now the pages are a little bit more filled with text. So this is moving them up the sort of levels. They'll be a little bit more confident readers now, reading a bit more out loud, or perhaps, still reading with parents as well, it's no problem. Still got the lovely illustrations that everybody likes, but it has moved up quite significantly. So you can see how the levels are working. Just a reminder that these ones are from Ladybird, so they've been designed especially to help children with their reading. They do still include the activities, so I will just move on. And again, it covers the main sort of things, but you might see there's still a word search. So the structure of the activities is still the same, but they'll be somewhat harder. So there'll be a nice recap, a nice way to finish off the stories, but there will be a little bit more difficulty to it. And I think children will really enjoy that challenge. So it's great handwriting practice, great vocabulary practice, as well as reading comprehension. So exactly what children will be doing at school. So just that extra boost at home. So I won't spend too much longer on that, because we have got quite a few to get through. So there's 7 in this collection. I will definitely make sure we post all of the prices and the product codes for each one, so you can find them at the end. And don't forget that all of this is going to be given away as well. So I'll pop those back. And I'm going to move on to this collection. So moving up then, this is a collection called The Plays, and as you would suggest, as it suggests, it's all of Roald Dahl's famous stories and novels that were turned into plays. So since so many of you have talked about the BFG, I'm just going to go with that one. In this you've also got 7, but I'm going to show you one of them in detail. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as well, The Witches, Danny, the Champion of the World. We've got James and the Giant Peach. We've got The Twits, and we've got Fantastic Mr. Fox. Right, so these have been adapted, and I will show you. I said I was going to show you the BFG. So the reason why these are really, really lovely books, and the reason why I chose them, is because they are for a slightly older age group, so probably 7 upwards. Just going to show you inside. So they're actually scripted, so you can take it in turns to read. And I just think that's really nice. I mean, I already do that with my little one now, because, he's got some favourite books where I ask him, do you want to be this character or do you want to be this person? But I just thought that was so nice. And you can all take it in take it in turns to be the different characters, and it just gets them really sort of involved in plays, you know, screenwriting and things like that. But it's still the wonderful story. It's still based on the wonderful story. So granted, there aren't any sort of illustrations in here, so it is just slightly older children that have moved away from picture books or semi-picture books. These are just reading books. So yes, getting some nice comments in here. I love the set. My son would love these. He's 7 now, confident reading himself. That's great. I think that's really nice. I think that's perfect. Yeah, you can do lots of fun voices in this, especially if you've watched the films or you've been fortunate enough to watch the play. Then you can just sort of mimic that at home, and I think that that's really nice. I think that, I'd love to do that with Fantastic Mr. Fox or even Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Taking it in turns to be the different characters would be so nice. And, you know, you don't need to read this all at once. You can just come in and out of it as you please. And you can sort of, take it in turns to be different characters. So I think that's really nice. They're not, you know, the text is quite broken up. So you can just take it however your child feels most comfortable, however much they want to do. It's just a great way to keep them engaged and keep them reading. They are split, not obviously by chapters because they're plays, they are split by scenes. So you could break it up that way and say, well, look, we'll do scene 1 today, and that's almost like a chapter. We'll do scene 1 tomorrow. Depending on your family, you could get a few of you involved and take it in turns to be different characters in the books, rather. I will definitely come back to you with all of the prices. I know that that's a question coming up, so apologies, I haven't got them written down. So I will definitely follow up with this post, and if not, I can please send us a direct message privately, and I can come back to you with all of the prices, but we'll definitely have those. So that's a lovely 7th book collection of all the plays. So right, okay, I'm going to move on because we have got quite a few to get through. Probably again keeping with the sort of same age group or even going up a little bit, that's no problem. It really, you know, it's really about the level that your child's at. It's not necessarily always about age. So this collection is called the Glorious Golumptus collection, and it's we've got a hard box there, and inside are just 5 books. They've called it the Corking collection, which has got 5 great stories from Roald Dahl. Some of these are repeated from the set that you saw before, but obviously the main difference here is that these are the stories, these are not the plays. So if I just show you Fantastic Mr. Fox, for example, it's the story, so it's not the play. So slightly different to what we saw before. You have got some of the illustrations here, they're not the coloured ones, they are just black and white. So that's really nice, and it's just a really nice collection. I think with the way that that's all packaged up, that could be a really nice Christmas present as well for slightly older children. My son loves this set, so the funny voices. Yeah, that's nice. I think that might have been in reference to the other one. So we've got in this collection, I'll just show you, you've got the Magic Finger. You've got the Giraffe, Pelly and Me. We've got SEO Trot. We've got the Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then James and the Giant Peach. So with these, even if your child has read them, so we saw some of these titles in the Ladybird collection that's just behind, but obviously those are shortened versions and adapted for that age. This is now taking it up a notch to the next level. So even if your child might say, well, I already read that one, they can still read this because there'll be a lot more to the story and lots more imagination coming to mind, and there'll be all sorts of different questions, conversations and things going on. And yeah, definitely they're great for increasing vocabulary as well. And it's just moving up, you know, these are more sophisticated ones. These are the ones for older children, you can tell them. So these are some of the best sellers from Roald Dahl, and they're all put together in, just move that, in the box that's that it comes in. So there's those 5 there. So I'm just any questions at all, please feel free to fire them across. I know that price is one of them. So we've got Children's Book Enthusiast saying we're reading the Twits at the moment. Oh, that's really nice, lovely. And Isabel saying my daughter is 6 and likes to read these kind of the challenge. Yeah, exactly, and it is all about challenging them. And if you can get them to know about some of the authors and stuff, these are the books that they'll be reading at school. They're on the recommended reading lists, and then, you know, why not? They're fantastic. So that's that collection. There's 5 in that one. And then finally, you'll notice this collection behind me. So there's 7 in this. So a little bit about Roald Dahl, since it is Roald Dahl Day. He was actually a pilot and then moved into becoming an author, and obviously one of the best children's authors we've ever had. And a lot of his stories are based on autobiographies. So, you know, if you've got a few minutes to spare today, just go and have a read about Roald Dahl. There's a website dedicated to Roald Dahl Day. Inspire children to read about Roald Dahl today. Hopefully we can do that. So yeah, I can see the collection behind you in white colour with pictures in it. Yeah, so right, this is a 7-book collection. They're all about Roald Dahl's. So they've sort of been described as a bit of a darker side. They are definitely more for adults, perhaps sort of teens as well, young adults or adults. I would read these. In fact, I think I'm going to take these today and read them. So they're more serious stories. They are still fiction, but they're more about darker side of sort of life, what happens. There are 7 in the collection. This one is called Deception. And I'll just read you a little bit from the back. So it says, why do we lie? Why do we deceive those we love the most? What do we fear revealing? And that's the introduction to this particular title. I won't give too much away, but it's there's lots of twists and turns, plot twists. Yes, he was a wartime fighter pilot, so I think there are lots of different stories. It's a completely different side to Roald Dahl here. So I thought that I would bring this to your attention. So there's almost something for the children and perhaps something for the parents to read as well, which if you've got older children, you could pass it on to them or save it for when your little ones grow up. I'm going to show you all of them. So let me grab them. Right. So then we've got Fear as well. Again, these are described as sort of the Roald Dahl reveals his more darker side of human nature. So that's interesting. We've got in this one Lust, and this is a story about a wife, a concerning story about wife swapping with a twist. So they all sound brilliant, to be honest. Innocence as well. So we begin life with innocence, but how do we become to lose it? So that's another interesting one. It's number 4, Madness. Our greatest fear is of losing control, and above all, losing controls of ourselves. So this is about the unsettling tale of madness from Roald Dahl. You don't need to read these in any particular order either. So they are more sort of like novels. War. Somebody's just mentioned that he was a wartime fighter pilot before he went on to become renowned for being a children's author. So that will be a really interesting one. And this is one of the most famous autobiographical stories from Roald Dahl, as he was a fighter pilot, and it was in the Second World War. So we get to see a really different sort of human side of Roald Dahl. So I think that's really lovely. Still got another one, Trickery. So that's a very twisted, dark and twisted story there. And then finally, Cruelty. So So even when we mean to be kind, we can sometimes be cruel. So what does that sort of streak of nastiness have inside us? So yeah, I think yeah, definitely, Claire, go for it. I think so. They are novels. So I'm just going to open them up for you. They are by Penguin. They're fiction books. They are still Roald Dahl. They've still got the sort of little cute sort of thing there. But they are definitely more for I think for us parents, and then save them and we'll hand them down. But I think that's really nice. If you've grown up with Roald Dahl, or you've got slightly older children, maybe sort of GCSE or even A-level or something like that, why not get this collection? I'm wrong actually, I said there were 7, there's 8. Sorry, there's 8 in that set. And like I said, you don't need to read them in any particular order. Just take whichever one sort of takes your gets your attention first, and go with that. But I'm really drawn to this. I don't know. So I'd like to see. We'd have to make up our own minds about how much truth is in it and how much we can relate to Roald Dahl. But there's definitely, I think, especially in the war one, we'll really hear some of his accounts, which I think is really, really, really nice. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of all of the books that we've had so far, and then don't forget that I'll post this video. I apologise for the sort of glitch with the sound at the beginning, so I'll post this video with all of the recap of the books, and then we'll include the prices and the product codes as well. So just to recap, in case any of you missed, because we've got some new people joining, so thank you for joining. So we started with this lovely little library of 4 books, colours, opposites, numbers and creatures. They're board books. They are for 4 little books from mischievous little hands. Couldn't have put it better. I think that they're so lovely. Stocking fillers, Christmas gifts. Can't go wrong for little ones. I think that's really nice. And then we moved on to the Ladybird books, which are 7 books, and they're all at different levels. These start from level 1 and go up to level 4. So just a reminder of those, and I'll just show you the levels at the back again there. So it's a really, really good way to get them started and reading. And don't forget that these have all got activities in the back of the book as well. There is quite a few new people joining, so I'm just going to do a quick recap. You will all be able to watch. You'll be able to watch the whole thing afterwards. We'll post it on our IGTV, so you'll have it there. But after the story's finished, there are several pages of activities here, which children can do once they've finished, and that's in all of the books. Okay, so we've got that. Going as quickly as I can to do a recap, and then the plays. I think that if we didn't have the little children's collection, this one would be my favourite. So I'm just going to show you a different one. We'll go with, we'll do Fantastic Mr. Fox. And as I mentioned, these are scripted. So they're not your normal. They're in scenes, so you can act them all out. I think if you've got 2 children, or mum and dad and child, just act them out. I think that's really funny. I think that I'd love to do that. If Millen was here, we would have done it. So that's really nice. So those are the plays, and in that you've got 7 in that collection. So some of the most famous ones, and loads of you have been saying Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, and BFG. So they're all in there. And then almost finally, we moved on to the glorious Golumptus collection, and that's a hard box with 5 stories in there, and they are the stories, they're not scripted. So I'll just do a quick recap of that, because we have got some new people that have joined us. So the Giraffe and the Pelly and Me, so those are the actual stories in there. See, that's lovely. And you've got the illustrations, but they're black and white. So sort of moving away from your picture books, but and into chapter stories. So that's that. I think the way that that's sort of packaged up as well, that could be a really nice Christmas present. 2, I know we're getting a bit excited for Christmas. We will do a special Christmas one. And then finally, for the parents or older readers among us, I've shown you this lovely collection. So there's just 4 there, but there's actually 8 in the whole set. And these are all about Roald Dahl. So a couple of you have mentioned a bit about his sort of history. It is Roald Dahl day to day, so that's why we've got this live dedicated to Roald Dahl. But if you get a few minutes, just read up about him. He was a wartime pilot in the Second World War before he, as he came on to then become renowned for being a children's author. He's also written this lovely collection of fiction novels, and they're all about, well, we have to decide for ourselves. I think that there'll be plenty about him in there, and there is one titled War. There is one titled War as well. So that's everything for today. I'll just pop those back. We will give you all of the prices and all of the product details following up just after this live. So thank you all again. Some of you have just joined us, so we have come to the end, but there will be all of these up for grabs. One lucky winner will get them. So thank you very much for joining us. And if you've got any suggestions or recommendations for the next book club live, please let us know. We've tried to cover a sort of range, but we really wanted to do a takeover today for Roald Dahl Day. So any sort of recommendations, let us know. Definitely for you going on the Christmas list. Yeah, I do want to do, we'll probably do more than one Christmas book club live if I can. Thank you very much, and see you again soon. Bye.